Turning now to the 9/11 terror trials and new backlash today over the administration's 180, changing its decision to try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 co-conspirators in a federal court in New York City. That's what they wanted to do months ago. Yesterday, the Attorney General announcing that instead they will move that trial to a military commission at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Eric Holder saying this is not what he wanted, but essentially felt that Congress had forced his hand. The ACLU, angry at the Attorney General for giving in to opponents of a trial in federal court, calling his decision, quote, completely wrong. Take a listen to what the Attorney General said back in 2009 versus what he said just yesterday.
Those allegedly responsible for the attacks of September the 11th will finally face justice. They will be brought to New York, to answer for their alleged crimes in a courthouse just blocks away from where the Twin Towers once stood. So today, I am referring the cases of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Walid Mohammed bin Atash, Ramzi bin al-Shib, Ali Abdul Aziz Ali, and Mustafa Ahmed Hawasawi to the Department of Defense to proceed in military commissions.
Joining me now, Chip Merlin, a trial and defense attorney. Chip, you often argue for left-leaning causes, and you've been a defender of the administration on this show in the past. What do you make of it?
Well, from a very practical standpoint, I mean, justice delayed is justice denied, and Attorney General Holder had no other practical resolution to this other than to go through Congress's intent. What had happened was Congress, in a spending bill, 400 pages, put in a little paragraph that took away the funding and prohibited taking those suspects up to New York City. So what is he going to do? He either waits and waits, hoping the law is going to change, or he's going to do what the families want and the victims, and that is go out there and get this trial done in a military courtroom. He really had no other choice.
Well, you make it sound like what he really cares about is what the families of the victims want. But the families of the victims, many of them, have wanted military commission trials from the beginning and were outraged when Eric Holder announced that he was going to be trying KSM in a civilian federal court to begin with. So, I mean, are you being fully honest with the viewers on that?
Well, I think if you go back, what they want is swift justice as quickly as possible, wherever it was going to be. They spent, the federal government
the 9/11 family members?
They want swift justice. They want to find these people
guilty.
In a federal court in New York City? Megyn, absolutely, if they can. And the reason I say that is some of those, allegedly, some of those people have been boasting about doing it. This should not be too difficult of a trial, and they spent a lot of time and a lot of money getting ready for that trial. The only thing that happened was Congress took away the ability to take them up there and get tried.
Well, that's true.
Now they've got to go back to the military court and have it done.
What you just said is true, but you know who else spent a lot of time and money? The prosecutors down at GITMO, at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And they had Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 other co-conspirators ready to plead guilty a couple of years ago, and then they yanked that trial. They yanked that before they put it in federal court, and then a new set of prosecutors had to start all over and waste time, taxpayer time and money, and now that's been yanked again. So, I mean, each side keeps doing it to the other.
Well, there was a lot of problems that were going on, and it's very well recorded, the problems, especially the judges overseeing the military tribunals down there. Now, I'm not saying that we can't provide a fair trial for those suspects down in GITMO, but the main problem right now is Holder had no other practical resolution other than not to prosecute him at all, and nobody wants that. So he had to go along and allow the military tribunal to start, and they've now got to start back up and get this done.
You know, the ACLU, they had a statement condemning this decision yesterday, but when, you know, because it was kind of leaked that they were leaning this way, you know, the administration, that they're going to reverse themselves on it. And back in early March 2010, the ACLU came out with a statement calling this a regrettable reversal. It'll strike a blow to American values and the rule of law. It will undermine America's credibility. President Obama will deal a death blow to his own Justice Department and to American values. He will betray his campaign promise to restore the rule of law. And on they went. They seemed to feel he did have another option, which was to continue to fight to have these trials take place in federal court.
Yeah, for when? Until another 2-3 years at the earliest? There's no plausible expectation that the law is going to change, and not taking those people to justice, to have them found guilty, would be a far worse crime than just than having a military trial down there in Guantanamo where they can be finally found guilty and then sent to prison for what they've done. I mean, there was no other practical alternatives, Megyn, is there?
Let me ask you this.
That's really the question what Holder's coming from.
If that's the case, right, because the Congress tied Eric Holder's hands and the president's hands, because realists are saying, you know, look, President Obama ultimately makes this call. I mean, this is a signature piece of his policy when he ran for president, when he became president, shutting down GITMO. He doesn't like the military commissions. He wanted federal court trials. And now it seems that the attempt to treat these terrorists as criminals who belong in the justice system as opposed to terrorists who at best get a military commission trial is falling apart.
Well, they killed civilians, and they did it. It wasn't in a military war that was going on. It was terrorism at the time. And typically, we've been able to show that our federal courts are able to prosecute and put people away for that. We did it at Oklahoma City. While there were some difficulties with respect to the 1998 bombing incident in New York City, where the person was only convicted of one count, that person is in prison on a life sentence. There was no doubt that the Southern District attorneys in that prosecutor's office could have prosecuted and put these people in prison and could have already started this matter, except for Congress cutting off the funding.
Understood. And I mean, there are obviously questions about whether Oklahoma City bombing is the same as KSM, you know, a terrorist, but we'll leave that for another day. Chip, thank you.